Hey YouTube, name's Lime. I've decided to join the Unexpected Fellowship unexpectedly. Surprise, motherfuckers, as Felix put it. Anyway, I wanted to talk about Nerdfighter hate because Benji and Felix had already mentioned it, and I have a slightly different experience of that than you guys obviously did. Now, a little background, I've only been a Nerdfighter for 6 months now. I'm coming up on my 6-month anniversary of being a Nerdfighter, which is pretty cool. But my home range was B. 4chan/B, that infamous random. That's where I come from. That's where I've been since 2007, and to me, B is like a child. No matter how bad it does, because of its very few good points, I will never hate it. But that's what B is. It's the internet hate machine. It hates everything unconditionally. That's what they do. But they do hate some things more than others. And I remember, actually not too long ago, 2010? Okay, 3 years, but not so long ago, somebody started a thread on B that basically said, "What do you guys hate?" And the first two answers should be obvious if you've spent any time on B. The third one was 9gaggers, because B overall finds them annoying, and intellectual property thieves, and making what used to be inclusive popular. Now, fourth was Nerdfighters. The fourth most hated group on B are Nerdfighters. And I've heard all the reasons. The elitism, like they're annoying. Also, apart from that, it has to do with the name, and that's something I found very interesting. Nerdfighter, like the title, a lot of them find it silly, which is, well, amusing, but nerd, something about our culture has completely changed when it comes to nerds and geeks. Like, go back just a few years, and it used to be weird. It was frowned upon. Go back to my mother's time, when she was a teenager, and people who like D&D and who played board games, especially people who watched anime, my goodness. They were the runts of the litter. They were their own little tiny creepy corner, and they were stereotyped as glasses wearing and zit popping people. A lot of them took that name with pride. I'm a nerd, I'm a geek. And having a popular group, Nerdfighters, who I would argue aren't exclusively about being nerds, but more of a YouTube sort of community, stole that name from them. And a lot of people do not like that, now that nerds are, a popular thing. As it happens with almost any popular group, whether it be, Twilight fans or Nickelback fans, if those things exist, people just gravitate towards opposing them. When you're not part of a group, you will often try to justify why you're not part of that group. And it is almost never a mature answer. It's always going to be something a little bit silly. Think about it. Why aren't you a Nickelback fan? Some of you are going to be like, their music is crap, but you're going to go on and like go above the limit and start insulting it. And I want people to remember that's not how to be awesome. When we're not part of a group, sometimes we should really just sit down and ask ourselves why, and not resort to insults, because that's what I'm seeing a lot with why people hate Nerdfighters. They want to justify the fact that they're not part of a growing culture, a growing community, and they're resorting to petty insults. We shouldn't let that get under our skin, and honestly, we're above that. If anybody starts bashing you for being a Nerdfighter, just show them how awesome we are by not replying in kind. That's pretty much it. Don't forget to be awesome.